Welcome to today's webinar session where we are going to be learning all about DSAs and DSA Page Feeds. Awesome to have you guys all with us. Please feel free to be as interactive as you want in the chat down in the bottom right corner. Let us know where you're tuning in from. We want to hear from you. Today's session is hosted by yours truly, myself, Thomas from Channable, and I have brought along a good friend and an even better teacher about DSAs, which is Petter. If I can ask you to jump to the next slide, Petter. Let's see. There we go. Perfect. We'll do a quick round of intros. So, hi there. My name is Thomas, and full disclosure, I have never managed a Google Ads account, but I have been working at Channable for 4 years, talking to a lot of digital advertisers and understanding what they are doing in their day-to-day. Luckily, I have brought someone along who does have experience with managing Google Ads accounts, and that person is Petter, who is head of SEM over at 56K Digital. Petter, can I ask you to give a short introduction of yourself to the ladies and gents listening in?
Sure, thank you very much. Hey everyone, thanks for listening in to this webinar. So a brief background about myself. I've been working with paid search for quite a while, both at different performance agencies and in-house. Over the years I had the opportunity to work with a wide range of fantastic brands of all shapes and sizes, both lead generation and e-commerce clients. I really enjoy my work.
You have to say that. Awesome. Thanks, Petter. I don't doubt it. And can you tell us a little bit also about 56K Digital as an agency, who you guys are, what you do?
Yeah, sure. So 56K Digital, we are a Stockholm-based agency with a senior, highly experienced team. Actually, most of our team has over 8 years of experience. And what we do, we combine expertise in marketing, analytics, and technology to drive client success. And our focus is always on aligning business goals with smart strategic marketing solutions. And we offer a full range of services: SEM, SEO, social, content, advanced analytics, and more. Just recently, actually, we announced that we are merging with another agency, Rocket Revenue. So we're growing in both size and expertise. And so far we have grown mainly by recommendation, and that's something we're quite proud of.
Nice. Really cool, Petter. Thank you so much for that introduction. A little bit humbling to know that you were already working with e-com and digital marketing while I was in primary school, not to make me feel old. So today's session is, of course, both with 56K Digital, but also, of course, from a Channable perspective. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but just to give those of you who are listening in who maybe don't know what Channable is and what we do, a quick intro and some context. Channable started off back in 2014, 11 years ago, as a feed management solution. And as digital marketing has evolved and progressed, Channable has followed, and we now comprise of a whole suite of tools for digital marketing. Latest addition to the family is the image editor with background removal that we're very proud of, and that slots in very nicely with the feed management solution, which is still there, PPC automation, marketplaces, and so on. Petter, if I can ask you to go to the next slide.
Yes.
Thank you so much. In short, what is it we do? Well, data in, data out. We fetch in product data from a source, wherever that data may be. Once it gets into Channable, you optimize it, enrich it, set up some automations to make sure that you can push that data out in the right format to whichever channel you want to push that data out to. That's the shortest version I can do of this. This is not a sales pitch. This is just really quick. What is Channable? If you want to know more about it later, let's talk. But for now, Petter, you can jump onto the next slide. And I think you will run through this agenda. But first, I will just do a little bit of housekeeping, because there are a couple of questions which I know will come into the chat in about 5 minutes. Let's tackle those now. Will this session be recorded? Yes, this session is being recorded. Will you get that recording? Yes. Otherwise, it would be a bit pointless. Will you get the slides? Yes, the slides will also come to you. But please, even though you can watch back, please do pay attention, because Peter is a very wise man and has a lot of wise things to say. And with that being said, I will now hand over the word to Peter. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Okay, so here's a little bit of what we will cover today. Dynamic search ads page feeds versus regular DSA. How feed management solutions improve these days. And some best practices and common mistakes, and then we will finish off with a Q&A. But yeah, today's focus is on dynamic search ads with page feeds. So it's a practical way to get more control and better results from your DSA campaigns. And DSA, it's nothing new. It's actually been around since about 2011. It's a well-established tool for automating ad creation based on your website's content. But to really use the full potential of DSA, I think it's great to work with page feeds. So in this webinar, we will show you how feed management can make your campaigns or DSA campaigns more relevant, up to date, and easier to manage. And whether you're new to this or have used it before, I hope you will get some useful tips today. But yeah, who is this relevant for? I actually usually set this up for all my e-commerce customers, but I do find that it works especially well for multi-brand e-commerce or any business with a large and frequently changing product range. But to kick things off, we love to get a sense of your listening, your experience with dynamic search ads. So we have a poll for you, Thomas.
Yes, I would like to say we had a poll, but I'm now looking in the poll section and I don't see it there.
Okay.
So it's for some reason that poll has vanished. So everybody, please use the chat and tell us if you are new to this whole world of DSAs or if you're already fully experienced in this.
Yeah, so it's just more of a check-in, how many has worked with dynamic search ads before and how many has used page feeds. But yeah, we skip that for now, and we let's move on to
actually, Peter, I think I'm able to launch it. Let me see.
Cool.
I think I can do it like so. There we go. People should now have a poll popped up. Have you used DSA with page feeds before? Let's see, results are coming in. I see 60% roughly has saying yes, 40% saying no. So we've got a good split. So
that's good.
Use that information as you will, Peter.
Yeah, I hope it's a little bit for everyone in this. So yeah, let's continue.
Awesome.
Yeah, so what are DSA and DSA page feeds? So dynamic search ads, DSA work by analyzing the content of an advertiser's website and dynamically generating headlines and landing pages based on the user's search query. Some of the benefits is that it saves time and resources by automatically generating usually highly relevant headlines to ads that match the user's search intent. It can capture additional traffic that you're not covering with your keyword-based search ads. It can cover some low search volume queries, which keyword can get status low search volume and then become inactive. And sometimes, at least in the past, you can get a more noticeable ad than with regular RSA ads. So over the years, Google has constantly tested and changing how the ads look like. And I remember that sometimes DSA have been able to have like a longer headline that stuck out a bit more. But think of this more as a bonus if it happens. And how to use DSA effectively, I would definitely say to use it as a complement to your existing keyword-based search campaigns. You can expand reach, capture valuable traffic from search queries that you're not covering anywhere else. But regular adding negative keywords is definitely crucial to effectively handling DSA. And so DSA versus like standard DSA versus DSA with page feeds. Often when I audit accounts, I see that people using standard DSA often use the entire website content for targeting. You can manually add like specific URLs, but I see that many uses the entire website. So that means it's a fast setup, minimal input needed, but it's also a higher risk of showing ads for unintended pages. And you have less control over messaging and structure. And with page feeds, you use a specific list of URLs that you tell Google to target. And that gives you more control of which pages that trigger your ad. It does require a feed setup, either via a feed management tool or a spreadsheet, which we will go through later on. It does then reduces risk of irrelevant ad triggers. And this is one of the best things. You can assign custom labels for ad grouping, so you can make more relevant ad copy and ad extensions, etc. And yeah, it's a fallback to your regular search campaigns. If new products are added to the feed, they are automatically targeted in the DSA campaigns. Yeah. So how to set up a DSA page feed? We're gonna look at two ways. There are other ways, but these are the two best ones, I would say. So either to do it via Sheets or with Channable. And Channable actually has its own like built-in functionality for creating DSA, which is really cool. So you will go to the menu text ads, and within text ads you have DSA settings where you add the settings there, and then you come to the part where I think it really shines, and this is where you make the ad, and where you can use dynamic fields to make the ads really relevant and really stick out. So for example, you can add like price dynamically, or you can say, amazing products from the brand, and then you lift in the brand from the shopping feed. So this is just the place to be really creative, and this is the place where you can make a really big difference in how your ads looks like. And also, don't forget the ad extensions, because you want to have the ad extensions tailored to your product, to your ad as well. And this is also really good in Channable. You can, for example, show the one of the images for the product as an image extensions. You can, same way as you build ads, you can do that with site links. You can add price ads, etc. So yeah, don't forget to use this functionality as well. And how the auto generation of the ad works. So a few things to be aware of: that Google doesn't scrape your website in real time, so updates can lag. Headlines are auto-generated and not always predictable, so just keep an eye on in Google Ads in the search terms and landing pages settings how it looks like. I will show this later. And editorial policies apply, so make sure your paid titles, etc., follow Google's policy rules. Some frequently asked questions about running DSA in Channable. Can I have both DSA and RSA in the same ad group? No, because it's different ad types. You can't have them in the same ad groups in Google Ads. What happens if I post a dynamic ad target? Channable will recognize this and will leave the dynamic ad target post. And what if you want to manually add more dynamic ad targets? That's no problem, and Channable will not touch any of the manually added targets. And what happens if a product is removed from the product feed? So Channable will recognize this and post the ads. Okay, that's a little bit short about how to do it via Channable. Let's see how to do it via Google Sheets. Let's see. So in Google Ads, you go to business data, data feeds, and here you can actually find a template from Google, how to structure, how to build your page feed. So here's an example from Google how you should structure it. So it's really just like 2 columns, page URL and the custom label. And the custom label is where you want to put some effort in. So here's an example of a shopping feed. You have title, you have sizes, you have the link. This you need to adapt to suit the page feeds. You want to remove the duplicate URLs. So for example, different sizes might go to the same landing page. Remove those duplicates. And how you do this, if you have another feed management tool that doesn't have the built-in functionality for DSA, you can just build rules in that, or you can create an app script or anything to remove the duplicates. Then you want to find a suitable attribute to use as your custom label, and I usually use product type. I think that's a good one, but it depends on your client or on your setup. But I usually find that works pretty well. And I will give some example of other attributes you could use as a custom label later on. Schedule your feed import. This you do on the schedule setting, and this is the whole point. You do want to schedule it. You do want to make it dynamic and updated daily. So this is like the key thing that you really want to do. Yeah, here's an example of how it could look like. All right. And so here's an example. I realize I did this in Swedish, but in this segmentation, it's about base layers for men. It's like my lowest segmentation here. And then I want to, of course, adapt the ad copy to this custom label. So here I will have the URLs for all my base layers that I have in this example. And then I can write something like you order base layers for men, and just make sure you make that really relevant. And keep an eye on your search term and landing pages from DSA, and it's really good. You want to look under search terms and then choose not just search term, but search terms and landing pages from dynamic search ads, because then you'll actually see the search term that had triggered your ad. You can see the headline and you can see the landing page. And if something looks weird here, you want to correct it, and of course make sure to add negative keywords. So this spend a lot of time here, especially in the beginning when you set DSA page feeds up. And yeah, so page feeds in Performance Max, it can be used in Performance Max. You actually do have a settings for it where you can add your page feed as long as a shopping feed is not connected. And if a shopping feed is present, you don't have this setting, but you can leverage final URL expansion, but that's not the same thing. So personally, I don't use page feeds in Performance Max because I prefer the control of regular search campaigns. But yeah, Google it's a lot of updates. So yeah, the landscape is changing. Maybe this will become an okay option in the future. And just a side note to this, the impact of AI Max in this space will be really interesting to follow. But I think that will be a webinar or several webinars of its own in the future. So some best practices and some common mistakes. Best practices: analyze your search term, keep your feed dynamic, and adapt your ads by category or other labels. And some common mistakes is not using labels for segmentation enough, not excluding irrelevant keywords or search terms or pages. To run a static feed, then you kind of miss the point. You want to have it dynamic, you want to have it updated. And just so my advice, basically, keep your setup dynamic, regularly review performance. Don't just set and forget, because then it can trigger some irrelevant search term. Okay, so a little bit beyond the basics. I'm going to show you a bit about how you can structure your feed for better relevance and results. So you start with your shopping feed. That's what I've shown you. That's a really good start. You already have all your product URLs. That's a great foundation for a product-focused DSA ads. But you have more pages. You usually have more pages that you want to target and advertise on. So your category pages, for example, maybe the brand pages, and you might even have some like best sellers or offer pages that perhaps could be relevant to target. And ideally, you get a dynamic export of these pages directly from the clients, from the CMS or database. If you can't get this, some alternatives might be like web scraping or manually compiling a static feed for important categories. But then again, then it's static, so it will not be updated. So it's kind of a last resort. But yeah, the more structured and complete your feed is, the better Google can match ads to relevant searches, and the better you can steer your advertising. And some advanced like custom labels, some more examples. And if you have more information about your products, so stock level, for example, of course, you can use this to segment even further. And this is kind of similar of how you might segment your shopping campaigns. Some examples, here is be creative, but maybe inventory status to only advertise available products or remove products with only a few left in stock. So perhaps you only have a few like uncommon sizes left in stock, then you might want to exclude that whole product. You could use product margin and maybe focus on high margin items and adjust your campaign structure based on this, bid higher or lower depending on your margin. Best sellers, maybe you want to promote those more actively, bid higher, and you segment those out. So basically, the more product info you have, the more granular and effective your segmentation can be. So be creative based on your business goals. Cool. Some key takeaways. So DSA Page Feeds give you more control. That's one of the biggest differences between regular DSA. You do really want to segment and prioritize with custom labels. Make sure to use this. Keep your feed dynamic. So if a product is removed or if a product is added, you make sure to reflect that in your advertising. Don't forget to regularly review search term reports, add negatives. Really important, as with all campaigns in Google Ads. Feed management tools. That's where you really can automate and scale up easily. Channable even has its own feature to create DSA. So if you have a big product range, I would really recommend to use a feed management tool. Makes it a lot easier. And yeah, stay updated because Google Ads is evolving. So maybe new options will come soon. Great. So time for some Q&A.
Awesome.
Thomas, do you want to handle this part?
Yeah, I'll happily jump in here. That's really great. Thank you so much, Petter, for sharing these insights. And for everybody sat out there watching today's session, keep in mind that we have a seasoned expert here with us today. So questions that you are currently sat with about DSA, about Petter's favorite color, whatever it may be, use the time now because we're here. So down in the bottom right corner, you will see a questions button. You are welcome to type in your question there, and we will take the questions as they come in. Before I take, there is already one question that has come in, Petter, but before I jump into that one, a quick question from my side, actually, because Google has a lot of different ways of advertising nowadays, right? So there's PMax, there's responsive search ads, there's these DSAs. How do you evaluate, or what things do you need to take into consideration when determining which is the best way to go? Or is it a beautiful mix of everything?
Yeah, I would say try. I mean, DSA, I think this should be used as a complement to your regular search campaigns, to your regular keyword-based campaigns. And experiment, try. It all depends on like if you have a lot of data, then it's easier to try and experiment more. But to try it. That's my advice.
Do you have businesses where you are only running DSAs, or do you always combine them with responsive search ads also?
Yes, I pretty much always combine them, but it can be a really a good way to not to start only with, but to get ideas and to like keyword mining to see, okay, these search terms are actually really relevant for me. I will add them and build out my regular search keyword-based campaigns. So short answer, I always use them together with keywords.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Perfect. But then how you want to structure it if you want to keep them as ad groups on ad group level, or if you want to break them out into campaign level, that depends. Whatever suits your customers' needs best.
There isn't a one size fits all, essentially.
No, it rarely are one size fits all. So yeah.
Makes sense. Awesome. Some questions have been coming through. The first question I'm seeing here is it worth to have just one URL and one DSA ad group, or is that too granular?
I would make it. Oh, okay. So I see what you mean. No, so okay. So it kind of it depends on how much data you have. But I usually tend to group together. So in the example I shown, I was like, so all men's base layer products I put under one ad group, and so on. And how deep you segment it depends on how much data you have. I would say so. Maybe you just want to have men's clothing. That's deep enough for some clients. But in some clients, you might have short sleeve men's base layer in one ad group and then long sleeve in another. So it once again, it also it depends. But it sounds that's quite granular if you have like only one product under one ad group.
Gotcha. Okay, makes sense. Next question is it worth taking the time to invest in changing your meta headline on the page? And in your experience, how much influence do DSA ad descriptions have versus scraped headlines?
I mean, the headlines has more impact, because that's the first thing you see, and so it can definitely be worth changing your page headlines and titles. Yeah, I would say so. But the good thing is that you can see this in the search term and landing page report, so you can kind of see how it looks like for the person that sees your ad. So keep an eye on this, and then yeah, definitely worth adjusting if it's needed to be on your landing page.
Awesome, nice. Another question come through is matching up basically DSA versus Performance Max.
Yeah.
Does Performance Max cannibalize DSA? Is the question.
Yeah. Yeah.
Easy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Straightforward.
Yeah.
Perfect. Then there is another question here that says, how can we track the actual performance of a DSA page feed compared to standard DSA? Which KPIs do you recommend monitoring?
The KPI is relevant to you. I mean, it's the same thing. It's just that you have more control with the page feeds. It's still dynamic search ads, so you should keep track on the KPIs that are relevant for your customer or for your advertising. So you don't need to it's I mean it's the same ad format. Yeah, I don't know if that answered the question, but yeah, it's the KPIs to keep track on is the ones that are relevant for your advertising.
Cool, awesome. There's I think 2 more questions. One is, how do you monitor and optimize for landing page quality in DSA page feeds?
Yeah, that's a really good question, because you don't get that information. You don't. Maybe another way would be to see if you have that landing page as in a keyword-based search campaign, then you can see the quality score, the landing page experience score there, and then optimize towards that. So yeah, good. That's a good question. I like that.
Excellent. All right, there's one last question that I'm seeing here. It's from Martin. Martin has written a long question, so bear with me. Okay. Understanding product feeds can help improve my Google Ads marketing. One equal or even more important part for us, working with you before, Petter, I assume you, Channable, was the learning that comes out of DSA. Being able to test, experiment, optimize, and develop products, price, promotion, and place. Can you give some examples on how to learn and experiment from using DSA?
Yeah, but in my experience, I think DSA works really, really well to find new search terms that are relevant for your business that you might not have come up with yourself. So to really keep an eye on the search terms report and see what you find there. That's I think that's the best learning from DSA. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Petter, I do not see any more questions right now. I think we've been through them. So I'm gonna give it another 20 seconds, see if any more questions do come through. In the meanwhile, you can go to the next slide, which is, I think, our closing slide. So all that's really left for us to say is thank you for joining us. As we've said, Petter knows his stuff. He's an experienced guy in the industry, and he's very happy to also share his knowledge and what he knows. So feel free to connect with Petter or myself if you also would like on LinkedIn. That's what we're here for. So go ahead and scan these if you would like to connect with us right now. And otherwise, I think for us, it's just time to say thank you, Petter. Thank you for joining us. Really a pleasure to get to listen to an expert at work. And thank you to everyone who listened in. Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you, Thomas. Thanks, everyone.